Now, the Gumuafete traditional authorities have issued a one-month notice to some refugees and squatters at the Buduburam Refugee Camp in the central region. The traditional authorities say expansion works on the Kaswa-Winneba Road and increase in criminal activities in the area are reasons for the demolition.
A team from the Central Regional Coordinating Council was at the Liberian camp on Thursday to stop further demolition exercise by the Gumuafete Traditional Council. More than 200 people, including some recognized refugees, were displaced in the first phase of the demolition, which took place on Tuesday. Buduburam has been a refugee camp for 34 years, but attempts by owners to reclaim their land after voluntary repatriation and integration of the refugees has been met with fierce resistance. Justifying the forceful eviction, a chief of Gumuafete, Nana Ibrata, was not happy that the settlement has become a den for criminals.
We've been hearing from newspapers and then on television and here and there. That place has been, let me say, Sodom and Gomorrah, the camp and then the Kaswa. So, to reduce these criminal activities, it's also part of it. That will reduce the criminal activity because most of the time, people do certain things and then go there and hide themselves over there, which it is very bad. It doesn't speak good well of with an animal of Gumuafete and then the entire nation. So that is also part of it. That is the reason why these are two things that we have put together to demolish so that they can find their way.
Oman Krado of Gumuafete, Nana Kwesi Kwanza, said the Traditional Council, in agreement with the Central Regional Coordinating Council, has decided to suspend the demolition for months.
The big men have spoken to us, so we are giving the occupants of the land 1 month to move out of the camp. The debris at the demolished area will be collected tomorrow so that the land will be prepared for the onion sellers. Since the chiefs have taken over the land, there is no retreat.
Nana Kwesi Kwanza was also concerned about the free consumption of electricity at the camp. The area public school now plays host to the displaced persons. Their leaders say they will not move out of the classrooms anytime soon, insisting the school was built out of their sweat and toil.
Student being affected is not good, but that's the only option we have. Even churches that were supposed to even move, you are broken all these places. And thank God, where we are, it is building that we ourselves built. It's not built by any chief. It's not built by any government. We ourselves built at the refugee school.
How long will you continue living the school?
As long we don't have a remedy to our problem, we'll continue living there.
Now, the Ghana Refugee Board, which intervened in the demolition exercise yesterday, has begun collecting data on those refugee status for relocation. Now, Executive Secretary of the Ghana Refugee Board, Trad'l, said the relocation could be voluntary, adding that the board cannot do much if the refugees are not willing to move out. He joins us now with a live update on the situation. Mr. Paddy, can you confirm if there are refugees actually living in the camp as we speak?
Yes, indeed. There are some refugees living on the camp, or what used to be the camp. In 2012, when the cessation clause was invoked for the Liberian refugees, a few of them applied to be exempted, and some of those who applied were successful, and they were exempted from the effects of the cessation clause. And so, yes, we have a few of them, but most of them, the large majority of people at Buduburam, including Liberians, are not refugees.
Are you able to paint a picture in terms of the figures? What volume are refugees and those that are not?
So we have in our database under 600 who are refugees. Not all of these are residents at Buduburam. Some of them live outside of Buduburam. And so what we're doing is that we're currently collecting data on actual refugees who have been affected. And in a day or two, we should be able to complete that exercise. And our intention is to relocate such persons away from Buduburam to another to a refugee camp that we run.
All right. So the victims claim those granted refugee status were not given work permits, hence their relocation will be meaningless. How do you react to this concern?
Okay, so they were actually given work permits, but except that the Ghana Immigration Service has standard permits stamps that they issue. Since we encountered these challenges, we have amended it. But what happened was that they indicated on the residence permits that the employer was the Ghana Refugee Board, and clearly Ghana Refugee Board was not the employer. But what we explained to them was that for those who encountered any issues with potential employers, they referred those employers to us, and we explained to them that the Liberians of the former Liberian refugees can't be employed by them, and that it was clearly just a challenge with the formatting of the permits that was given them. And indeed, several of them used those permits to work.
All right. You also talked about relocating to where specifically?
So we have a camp in the Western region. One of our camps, we have two camps in the Western region, but the Ampane refugee camp is where we are relocating them to.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Paddy, for speaking to us here on Join Us Prime.